Hello champions, how are you doing? My name is Hardik Harsora and I am your management consultant helping your business grow. Now, some of you have been telling me that Hardik, I am stuck. I had people to work with me and I lost that team or a significant part of that team. Some of them I terminated because I could not afford them. Some of them resigned because I could not pay them in full. A few of them migrated to where they came from, and some of them are in a lockdown, so they can't come to office. Result, I am doing everything that must be done in my organization. Now, I know that you would tell me that, hire new people so that you fill up that and you don't have to do things. But I got to be able to afford it. I can't. And to afford it, I have to get business. Now, all the older ways of getting business don't work. And if I have to look out for new ways of doing business, I got to learn, I got to implement, I got to research, I got to give it time. Time is something that I don't have. So, in a nutshell, I am stuck. So, anybody who's thinking like this, I get it and I have your back. Simply keep watching this video right till the end. Welcome back champions. If you are somebody who's watching my video for the first time, then let me tell you this. We make videos on business current affairs, tips and tricks to improve your business and ways in which you can sharpen your leadership skills and abilities. So consider subscribing to this YouTube channel. And if you are somebody who's been watching my videos and haven't subscribed so far, what are you doing, my friend? Not every good thing happens for free. This one is. Okay, so you lost people and now you're stuck. First things first. If you are somebody who had 2 or 3 people for about 2-3 years in your business and you never could hire more people, this video is not for you because your problem is far bigger than you think it is. For all others, I have 5 points that you must action. These 5 points are going to help you manage your workload better and you will not have to compromise on that strategic aspect to grow your company. You can still work on that. Here are the 5 points. Number 1, organize. It's extremely important to organize things before you start working on them. So you got to be very clear on a few things. Number 1, what are the things that you need to do your work? Make a list of that and make sure that is ready. You could require a computer, you could require internet, you could require files, you could require data. Make sure all of that is available to you. Second thing, you also got to be clear on how much work you are going to do and how much time you are going to give to that work. Remember, it is scientifically proven that anything that you do for a long time, you kind of lose efficiency. So you want to do your work in batches. By batches, I mean you may want to schedule 1 hour for activity A, but after that 1 hour, you will move to activity B. Because if you don't, you are going to anyways lose efficiency on doing activity A and you won't start B anyways. So make sure you keep it in batches. Number 2, automate. Sometimes rudimentary ways of doing things can also kill time. So if you're using a pen and a paper to do things, consider using Microsoft Excel to the least. Let's say you're making collection calls and you want to call precisely those guys that can give you the result, which is money coming in. Then you may want to call people who are 60 days plus with their outstanding. If that's what you're looking at, you can very easily look at Microsoft Excel and use functions like filter, pivot tables, VLOOKUP, and automate your collection database in a way that it tells you who you need to call. And that way you will save a lot of time. You may have other activities like invoicing, sending out emails to remind people to pay you, sending out proposals. All of these activities, there are multiple apps. You cannot even think of the number. Those many apps are available for you to automate, which means you don't have to manually trigger them. You can trigger them once and it will automatically go about sending these messages, invoices, proposals, etc. What should you do and which apps you should select? Well, there is a plethora of apps. So I'm going to recommend to you, go to Zapier.com. I'm going to paste the link in the description box. Zapier will give you all kinds of softwares for all kinds of things that you want to do, and it will also help you integrate two softwares. Go ahead, automate, save time. Number 3, eliminate. This is a very smart and a simple way of reducing the number of tasks that you have in your hand. All that you need to do is review how the whole task happens and why it happens and where it happens. I'll give you an example. Assuming a sales guy, and this is a real example of my client, his sales guy goes to the retail store, he's a distributor, and then from there he does not want to punch in orders in the CRM. So guess what he does? He calls up somebody in the back office and tells him, punch the order, this is what the order is. Now the back office team does the punching of the order in the ERP. Then what happens? The order goes to the accounts team. Accounts team kind of figures out, okay, does the client have enough credit period left, enough credit worthiness left? Because there's a limit to how much credit you can give. Once the account team validates and approves, only then the order moves ahead. Challenge. You want to reduce the workload of the accounts team because you have limited staff there. Fairly simple. All you need to do is have the accounts team provide that the database of how much credit limit is left with who to this back office guy. How can you do that? Like I said in the previous point, simply use Microsoft Excel. And if that database or that information is with the back office team, the back office team can do that approval instead of that work going to the accounts team. That way, reducing the number of tasks. If you go a little further, and if you use the right leadership skills, you may possibly be able to have the sales guy actually punch in order. And if you automate it, maybe the software will help you decide if this order should go through or should get stalled because this person does not have enough credit in his balance. If this is done smartly, you can significantly reduce the number of tasks that you have on your list or on the list of a department that is short-staffed. Point number 4. Short and simple, outsource. Your CA can send invoices. Your CA can create a database and give it to you of people who are supposed to be called for collections because it comes from Tally. If you want to do marketing in this age, it's only going to happen on social media. You can trust your social media consultant to get that done for you. Remember guys, anything that you get done from a professional by outsourcing it to him, the cost of that is always going to be lesser than the money that you leave on the table because you're not strategizing, because you're not figuring out newer ways to go about getting the same kind of business that you used to get pre-pandemic, pre-lockdown. Point number 5, delegate. Now, if you are short staff, every staff can take a little bit of workload here and there and can finish up what is there on your plate. Now, all that you need to do is you got to make it simple for them. So you got to create processes. Now, when I say this, I don't mean to say create complicated, very extensive processes. You can do a very simple version of process. How do you do that? Well, you create a checklist for every task, which will tell them what all needs to be done for one task to get over. They don't have to use their brains. They can simply go about doing it. The second thing that you got to do is you got to create formats for each activity in the checklist, which will help them just follow the format and get the work done. Transactional works can be very easily delegated. And there's one way of doing this format and checklist very easily, and you can combine them. Simply follow Google Sheets or Microsoft Excel. So how do you do this? Very easy. List all the tasks on a sheet and then see which of these 5 solutions apply to each task. Remember guys, not solving this problem is not going to help you. In fact, it's going to be disastrous. Because if you are stuck in operations, your competitor, if solves this problem, he can eat up the prospect that was meant for you. So you got to make sure when there are limited options, limited customers out there, you got to try double to be the first one to capture them. I am sure that you will have questions. Don't stop there. Reach me out on my website, book a free one-to-one consultation call with me. I have the solutions. Trust me, call me, I will help you with the solution. Now, one very, very, very important thing. You've reached so far in the video. I'm sure it's because you liked it. So don't be a miser. You are not going to pay anything to do this. Go and hit that big fat like button. Share this video with everybody that you think needs this, that you think is stuck and not able to move ahead. Until we meet next time, keep propelling.